And welcome back to the Don't Make This Weird podcast. And how's it going, everybody? We are super glad that you guys are hanging out with us on a Thursday night. I am on a very short leash with my headphones here, so I'm going to switch that out in just a second. But as always, I am hanging out with Tony in the studio. And how you doing?
Yo, we're flying just the dynamic duo that we're doing here, because Chris is kicking ass and leaving a footprint because that's what Chris does. So it's us. We miss you, Chris. The
You
show's
get
not the
us.
same.
That's all you get.
You need to.
I got a little bit of an echo going on in my cans here.
Is that what that is?
Yeah,
And you cans.
in my cans. Chris is doing his thing, all that grown up stuff that he likes to do, I guess. I don't know. But not to fear everybody, he is still part of the show. He's not going anywhere. He has told me today that he is 100% in and he is not going anywhere. So just so you guys know, you're not going to be stuck with Tony and I forever. And we are going to, hopefully after the holidays, start getting more guests back in. Until then, you guys are kind of stuck with just us hanging out and talking all kinds of random stuff. Sometimes that feel-good stuff that makes you want to puke. Or just funny stuff.
Something like that.
Just talk about whatever and everything and anything. So we are glad that you guys are hanging out with us. And Bobby is already joining in. He says, "Hey guys," and Candy says, "Hello, family."
Famby.
Happy birthday to you, Candy.
Speaking
Thank
of
you for
Famby.
joining in, hanging out with us.
Oh,
about
this mic is
Famboy?
obnoxious. Yeah, Famboy.
Famboy. What's happening with the Famboy?
Nothing. Just seeing a shit ton of deer
Oh,
on the side of the roads and all the travels and stuff. And
well,
it's like,
it's that
man,
time of year,
you would think that with this many deer that is overpopulating the area,
Mm-hmm.
that there would be more deer in your freezer as opposed to on the side of the road.
Yeah, but you got to think too. They're starting to run and they're getting in the way of everything. And hey, that's better. I can hear myself. They're starting to go into rut and everything. And opening day was last week, so they're gonna be running out in front of everybody. And yeah. So there is gonna be more deer, kind of hanging out on the side of the road. Last year, I over by where I live, there was a deer that was kind of just on the side of the road, hit, whatever, been there for a minute. Adam come home and he says, "You won't believe it, but there's a deer that has a get well soon balloon on it." I said, "Bullshit." I was like, "No way. Nobody, no, that's not happening."
That's fucking great.
Sure enough, I drove by and there was a get well soon balloon on this deer.
Oh, Jesus.
So I'm just like, at first I'm like, yeah, whatever. No way. But yeah, sure enough, there was. And my camera or my microphone is doing the same thing.
Yep. Apparently.
Right. We're doing good. Oh,
It's down with the sickness.
so I'm going to have to kind of just, keep on adjusting it.
Keep on cruising.
Candy says, "Thank you, Heather. You're welcome." And Jeff is joining in. He says, "Hey, you guys are starting on time. Professional. Nice."
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, sometimes we like to look like we're professional adults and whatnot.
Who knew we could get our shit together?
Who knew?
After 116 shows.
As I'm still adjusting my microphone to stop
right.
being a dink on me. So, yeah. Oh, Bobby says, "What's up with the get well soon balloon?" Yeah, it was on a dead deer.
It's Fambry.
Fambry. So, let's just get to what we normally do.
Right. How was your week?
How was my week? Okay. So, my week has been pretty cool. Still doing the Bronner's thing, and that's been pretty crazy as we get further into the season, working 10-hour shifts, which I'm okay with. I'm totally cool with that. Worked the floor last weekend. That was interesting. We were pretty packed. We were pretty busy. But luckily, they were letting me go back to the north building when we slowed down, and I was so happy about that because I have my own little desk and cubicle where I can. Not that it wasn't bad. Like, everybody was really nice and, like, very happy with their ornament after I got done, personalizing it for them. Except for there was one person, which I'm not bad-mouthing them because they like what you like.
Yeah.
You go somewhere and you ask somebody to do a certain thing. Well, my brain is like, oh, it was like so much better this way. Yeah, no, you listen to the customer. It'll bite you in the ass in the end. So that you'd think normally what we do is we put their name on the front.
Yeah.
And the year and everything. And unfortunately, they wanted everything on the back. And I'm like, well, why would you want it on the back? So for some of them, I did exactly what they said.
Yeah.
But for a few of them, my brain took over and was like, yeah, we're putting it here. So I had actually went to go to my break and somebody filled in my seat because you have to do that because we're so busy. And I come back and she's redoing everything.
What?
And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. She's like, oh no, they just wanted everything on the back. And I'm like, oh, I must have misunderstood. Going to hell.
Nice.
Lying
at Bronner's. That is a Christian facility.
I said sorry. The guy was really happy.
All your alms and what are forgiven. So
right. The guy was really happy. They looked really good. Like they looked really good. She did a great job.
Yeah.
So I was just like, sorry you had to redo that. She's like, no problem. And then after that, like 10 minutes later, the manager comes over and she's like, would you like to go back to the North building? And I'm like, that's all I had to do. I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, that's all I had to do to get out of here.
Wow.
Dang it, I should have remembered this from when I was a kid, because the whole lawn mowing story.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
It's been crazy. I mean, usually I would recommend you guys, if you're gonna come into Bronner's, to come before before deer opening season, apparently.
It's fucking crazy.
When we're a little bit slower in like June and July.
Yeah.
Come in around then because you'll be able to get up to the counter and get your stuff done. I know who Christmas shops that early.
Yeah, that's insane.
I don't know.
Who would do that?
But it's a lot crazier if you come in now because it's nuts. So, but with that being said, my season is only until January, so I am enjoying and getting as much time in at work as I can right now.
Of course.
So.
Yeah.
So there's that, and there's not really much time for everything else at the moment. So
that's why I'm picking up the slack.
I mean, if you're picking it up. Oh, but
not picking it up.
So anyway, that's pretty much what my week's been, is just working and stuff, and then exciting getting the car back on the road today, which is exciting.
Yeah.
Because
talk about that.
I will. Do you want me to talk about it now, or do you want to talk about your week?
Go ahead. That's part of your week. I mean,
okay.
Hello.
So all of you that are regular listeners know that my car, my Malibu,
a piece of shit car.
Hey, first off, I can just say that it has done me well in these 5 years. Really, really, it has. It's rusted. It's fallen apart. Selling it for $6. No, just kidding. I think it's actually going to the car graveyard. Like, I think it's done. But headlight, it rains, the headlight goes out, it shorts out. Even duct taping it. It lasted a long time with doing it that way. But so there's that. The muffler fell off. It was dragging the week before. The whole bunch of stuff's going on with this Malibu. Like, for the 5 years, this thing has been abused so badly. And then when I had first gotten it, Sean was just a little shit, and he'd sit in the back and he started peeling my door away. I was so pissed. I just got the car, and I'm like, I don't come into your room and like peel stuff. I was so mad at him. But anyway, so this car has just been falling apart. Last year, we purchased an Aztec, and some people were like, "Why would you purchase an Aztec to begin with?" But I actually, I like driving it. I really do. So anyhow, we had gotten it, and when we purchased it, talked the guy down, and he went with it. But then after we got it and I was driving it, the analog brake system was gone. Turns out, neat fun fact, that goes for like $600 and some, apparently. So he took that out beforehand and sold it on me. And I'm driving this thing, go to put the brakes on, and it goes all the way down to the floor. Like, it wasn't doing that in the beginning. Otherwise, I would have said, yeah, no, I'm not buying this, So anyway, so we've been sitting on it. I look at the receipt today when we went to go do everything, and it'll be exactly a year on the 11th of next month since we purchased the vehicle, and now just finally have it on the road.
Wow.
So I know Adam's dad doesn't listen, but a shout out to his dad and mom, because he single-handedly went through the whole thing and figured out what was going on with it and how to fix it.
Wow.
Yeah. Didn't even ask us for anything. He just went and did it. And
No
this
shit.
guy works like 10, 12-hour shifts,
Wow.
and he's gone through like knee surgery and stuff. And they just went. And so today when I went to pick it up,
Yeah.
stopped in because it's been at his parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
And his mom had me new seat covers and a new air freshener. She's like, now it feels like you're getting a brand new car. And I was like, the fact that I have 2 headlights and a muffler is like having a brand new car. It's like, hallelujah. so anyway, so that I have a much safer vehicle now.
That's awesome.
So the fact that it took a year to finally get it, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I can say, because I've said, I'm grateful for the vehicle that I have, even though it is falling apart, the Malibu. I'm still thankful for that. So
yeah, many roads you've gone down, and we've gone on adventures in that vehicle. And so many good memories.
It was a smart vehicle to get at the time because it was paid off. I was able to pay cash. You went with me when I purchased this car. And honestly, in the 5 years that I've had it, it's rusted, it's fallen apart, but it has done its job. Like, I got my money's worth out of it. I feel.
And then some.
And then some. And I've added stuff, to it. So it's just like, okay. So one thing, my dad just joined in, so he's saying hello, guys. Hey, Dad.
What's up, Pop?
So glad that he's joining because I talked to him last night.
Yeah.
And he said to me, man, I tuned in on Thursday, and why weren't you guys on? And he said, then I realized it was Friday. And I said, don't feel bad because I've been having that too. And I think after the whole
Nate was dealing with that all week. He was
the
like,
time change and then
what
the
the
weather.
hell?
The weather and the time change and then the fact that it's dark now just
at like
it messes with
4
you.
o'clock? It's dark at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, it messes with you.
Like that.
So anyway, enough about all my stuff. How's your week been? What have you been up to?
Well, I got to stick to my catchphrase because apparently I'm trending now. My week has been insane.
Oh, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I know, right? No, it's seriously, it's always crazy. We're ramping up for Mitch's next episode. Spoiler
Exciting.
alert, new episode of Audio Cops.
Oh, gotta tune in now for sure.
New episode with Conversations with Alexa. The new
Nice.
intern is actually turning out really well for Mitch. I was really impressed.
I am shocked.
Oh my
I was
God.
nervous about Wobbit.
Me too. The dude just can't seem to pronounce anything correctly.
Well, his name is Wobbit.
Wobbit.
So I mean, what do you expect?
But no, I mean, Mitch is he's finding a niche for Wobbit. And,
Okay.
it's actually really funny because sitting in Candy actually got to sit in on some pre-production.
So hard
It
when
is
you have to
so
not laugh during the thing. It is such. Try doing it during the actual when he's live. I'm sitting there going, "Don't laugh, don't laugh."
So yeah, basically for the past 2 days we were doing pre-production, getting stuff ready for the show, and I wish I could spoil it and play some of the stuff for you, but I can't because it is so fucking funny.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit later we could pull up
Yeah,
some of his old
probably
stuff.
pull some old stuff up of it. Yeah, it's so funny that, and we're also ramping up to go down to the man cave to do pre-production this weekend.
Nice. For This Is My Brain.
For This Is My Brain.
Mm-hmm.
And a quick shout out to the ever so lovely Candy. She had her birthday today.
Nice.
She is 29 plus shipping and handling.
That's what I like to say too. I'm with you there. I am with you there.
So we had an incredible dinner of stuffed shells,
Nice.
homemade garlic bread, and then apparently someone requested one of my legendary cheesecakes.
I think me and you
So-
should make one together.
Yeah.
My cheesecake with the stuff that you put in it.
No, I'll just do my cheesecake with.
Get out of here. All right, I was trying to share the spotlight with you, but fuck
hey,
me,
I'm
an
just
asshole.
saying, my cheesecakes are pretty legendary. They come by request.
I mean, I guess mine come by orders. So
Yeah, but see, if you can order something, that means it's tangible. If it comes by request, that means it's like a phoenix. It comes out of the ashes and happens only one every 1,000
I don't know.
years.
Nate's like, for my birthday, I want 2
Just saying,
cheesecakes to
that's
me,
right.
to this girl.
See that he's ordering it. When you request it, it's totally different. 'cause you don't know
Anyway,
if it's
finish
gonna
with your
happen.
week because this could go. We can go. Yeah, see, demanding. So we can go back and forth on that one. But, my dad will chime in and tell you
Okay.
best cheesecake. But anyhow,
See, he's never had mine, so.
get out of here. So this show is brought to you by who makes the better cheesecake?
That would be me. Candy's raising her hand going, I did.
Yeah.
But no, it's been crazy because as the end of the year is speeding readily upon us, so much stuff is ramping up. We're getting ready to do a bunch of new stuff after the first of the year.
Oh, yeah. So much stuff happening.
And, obviously we're going to be talking a little bit about our personal journeys and kind of what we're aiming for at the beginning of the new year.
Yeah, for sure.
This is what? A week and 5 days, 100% smoke free.
That's awesome, man. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
That is very cool.
No cravings. I haven't had any withdrawals.
That is unusual. So
yeah.
you're doing awesome.
Well, that's the thing is, like I said, it was time. So
yeah, you had it already set in your mind that's it. That was time.
Yeah, and it's weird because Mitch told me, he's like, you should start journaling and kind of talk about your process like that. And I said, some days it's weird because I'm walking around going, I'm forgetting something.
Mm-hmm.
What is it I'm forgetting?
Well, it's been a habit for how many years?
I've been smoking since I was 9.
All right, so yeah, of course. It's
minus 6 months because I quit for 6 months when I was 16.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, and it's so weird because I'm like, I grab my jump bag, lock the house up, throw the stuff in the car, and I walk out. I'm like, what am I forgetting? I know there's something I'm forgetting, and it's like,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Death sticks.
Yeah, the things I quit and walked away from. But
right,
it's been a really cool journey, for me so far. So part of the process that I've been thinking of is, okay, so I started, last January, I think it was, when I stepped on the scale at the doctor's office and I was 227 pounds. I'm like,
wow, yeah.
Nope. Bad idea.
Right.
So I decided to change up my health, starting eating better, doing the intermittent fasting, working out, doing yoga. Just trying to beat my body into submission because I didn't want to be the 50-year-old fat guy going, can you bring me another cigarette and a Twinkie?
Yeah, nobody wants that.
Right. Nobody wants that,
Unfortunately, though, that's really hard. Like, I'm not saying, like, it can be hard to just quit that altogether. I still have fat kid tendencies. I'll be honest, but go ahead.
Well, and that's the thing is, so I successfully did these things. And obviously there were steps and goals that I put into place to have certain amounts of success.
Right.
And it was a challenge. Not because adapting the new habits, you do those things. It's just like one day I'm going along and I'm going, wow, I should really grab something to eat. It's like 8, 9 o'clock. I'm going, wait a minute. You don't do that anymore.
Right. But it was old habit for
Right.
so long.
And that's the thing is that's what I'm trying to not really psych myself out, but prepare myself for that. What is it? Addicts call it, you fall off the wagon or a temporary lapse or whatever. That you're just going through your day and you've got old habits that kind of creep up. And it's like, oh, I'm going to go to the store and buy a pack of smokes. It's like, whoa, what are you doing?
Yeah.
No, you quit that. Not that I've done that, but, it's just one of those things. So having 2019 being my year of doing that positive personal growth and setting myself up for successes with health and eating, diet, quitting smoking. So I'm sitting there thinking a couple of days ago, and I'm like, wow, I've done all of this stuff. What's the next logical step for my success?
Yeah.
I've done things that most people struggle with on a day-to-day basis because, you eat your feelings.
Oh, for sure.
You self-medicate, whether it's, cigarettes or alcohol or whatever it is. And I'm not bashing anybody that does that.
Oh, because so many people do, and you
Right.
definitely would be like picking on every single person.
Right, and that's the thing, and I'd be a huge douchebag and a hypocrite, but I'm not going to do that because that's not me. I'm simply asking the questions that a lot of people do. They're just not vocal about it of what is the next logical step for my success? Being that I've had success doing this, I've had success doing this, I've had success doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to keep this trend moving forward because I didn't realize how many people in my direct sphere of influence I affected by quitting smoking in a positive way.
Right.
Nate quit smoking, Candy quit smoking,
Wow.
Cindy quit smoking. There was just a bunch of other people that went, well, fuck, if you can do it, so can I.
That's awesome.
And
Congratulations, everybody.
yeah, I mean,
It's not easy.
and they're like, shit, if you can do this, come on, really?
Right. That's awesome.
You quit, I'm quitting at the same time.
Can I give can I give a shout out to my dad too?
Yeah.
I think my dad is like correct me if I'm wrong, Dad, if you're still listening. I think he's like 2 or 3 months out now.
Wow.
From quitting and smoking too.
That
so
is
that's
awesome.
So you guys are all on the same
Heck yeah.
that same journey. That's really cool.
But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I know we've had a couple of episodes with just you and I, and we've talked about, stop being a lazy piece of shit and get yourself into gear to move forward and do all these other things. But that's one of those things that I think if somebody is making positive changes in their life,
Yeah.
support them on it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I can't tell you enough. When I decided that I was going to go and do the weight loss surgery, I really thought that I was going to have a lot of really bad feedback and some negativity on it. But I have to be honest with you, I had really good support and a lot of people that were really for it for me.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that more than any of you guys could know, because to have somebody by your side for it and, like, not instead of being like, oh, well, so many people died from that surgery or this or that, I didn't have that. I was very fortunate. And then afterward, I only heard a couple times from different people about, oh, I know so-and-so and they gained all their weight back. So I thank you for telling me that, to be honest, because in my mind now,
Yeah.
I watch the scale. It's not an obsession, but it is to where I'm like, okay, if I go up too many, if I go down, I do watch it to make sure, what am I doing?
Right.
What happened here? Why did this, but right now it's kind of difficult with that because I am doing a lot of working out and starting to gain muscle and stuff too.
Yeah.
So I was just like,
that's awesome.
Why did my scale move too? And Adam's like, well, you either have to poop or you've gained some muscle. So,
yeah, but see, that's the thing though, is I love that. I even had the conversation with our doctor.
Yeah.
Of she's like, well, muscle weighs more than fat. I'm like, really, doc? Mm-hmm. 1 pound of fat equals 1 pound of muscle. The difference is one is leaner than the other. It's cut different.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh yeah, I guess that's right.
But you have to be mindful of that, because when you're going through a process of weight loss and changing everything up, it doesn't matter if you're sticking completely to your plan.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll go back to where you will look like you've gained weight or whatever, but it's really just simply your body is adjusting.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They say 4 pounds is definitely something not to panic about, because your body it could be water. I mean, it could be several things. So,
well, and that's the thing, is I look around everywhere I go, and seeing a lot of these people who you can tell just have incredibly poor practices.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm going, wow, did I look like that?
Right.
Did I act like that? Was I lethargic? Was I, doing all of these things and going, well, of course I was, because my headspace wasn't in the right space.
Right. Oh, for sure.
And trying to consciously make better choices and decisions. And ultimately, that's what it comes down to, I think, for a lot of the health issues that we have.
Right.
The only time I've really gone to the doctor in this past year was to do a 3-month follow-up.
Wow. That's awesome.
Hey, how you doing? Do you need a refill on your meds or whatever it is?
Right.
And it's like, no, I'm actually doing pretty good.
So I know you've talked about it on other shows about having anxiety and different things like that, where you've had issues with insomnia and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that has changed any with the diet?
Here's the thing. Since and a shout out to Mitch Gill once again. I'm a huge skeptic when it comes to eating certain things.
Right.
Everybody knows that my vice is pizza and tacos.
Yeah.
If you're
It
gonna,
was.
well, that's the thing though, is I will never be 100% gluten free.
Right.
Okay, that's just it's not
Unless you're like me and have no choice.
right. If I was allergic to it, I'd still, I'd played Russian roulette with some pizza. But
I
that's
know
me
the
though.
feeling.
That's me though, and it's pizza and tacos. It's the food of the gods. Why would you
Right.
not want to enjoy that? And you've made some pretty bomb ass gluten free pizzas.
Yeah.
But since I've cut back on my gluten intake, I have not had heartburn.
Mm-hmm.
I have not had acid reflux. I sleep when I sleep
Yeah. You sleep
better.
better.
And I'm going, okay, there's got to be something to this. Because, I beat my body up all the time
Right.
and pushing it to do things that it normally wouldn't do.
Right.
There's something to it because I do my best to eat nothing but fresh produce,
Yeah.
clean meat. I do the intermittent fasting thing, which is
Can
great.
you explain that a little bit?
Okay.
Because I don't think a lot of people understand it, and I'm still kind of not sure.
So what the intermittent fasting thing is like with okay, so our vanilla gorilla, the
Okay.
gentleman we had on last week.
Yes.
Um, I was talking to him. I said, dude, this is last year, January, February ish. I said, man, I got to lose some weight. I got
Mhm.
to get healthier. How do I do that? And he did college football, the whole 9 yards,
Yeah.
almost pro football.
Yeah.
So he knew all about diet, exercising, and routines and regiments and so on and so forth. He's like, try intermittent fasting. I said, what the hell is that? He's like, okay. He's like, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., get all your nourishment in.
Yeah.
Your food, your, whatever it is that you want to eat. And then from 6 p.m. to 10 a.m., nothing but water.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That seemed like that would be really super hard to do.
And that's what I thought too.
In the beginning, was it a little bit?
No.
Honestly, no.
No. I mean, it was harder 6 months into it.
Probably harder to remember. Oh yeah, I don't eat it this time.
Well, no, that was the thing is it wasn't so much harder to remember, but like when you don't eat
Yeah.
24/7, your stomach shrinks.
Right.
And all of the cravings because of all of the shit that you've consumed,
Mm-hmm.
that cheeseburger at midnight or oh, I think I'm going to have this Twinkie or get a little Debbie Hostess or whatever while I'm watching a movie.
Yeah.
Or I'll just have one more can of soda before the night's over.
Yeah.
I mean, people don't actively realize how much shit they put in their
Oh
body
God, yeah, for sure.
and wonder why they feel like shit.
Yeah.
Or, oh, well, hey, I guess I got, a few extra pounds here that they just showed up.
Yeah. Speaking of that, like again, not bashing anybody, but
No,
at
I'm
work,
not.
no, not you. No, I'm just saying with me talking at work the other day. I walked by this one girl that I work with, awesome person.
Yeah.
You know, I seen that she had 3 bottles of pop
Yeah.
sitting there, and she had already gone through 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then I walked by like a little bit later, and she had a can open of it, and I'm just thinking, like literally, physically, my stomach just started hurting.
Yep.
Because when I started on the path to getting the bariatric beforehand,
Yeah.
that's one thing you had to cut. So I had cut out drinking pop
Mhm.
9 months. But I started looking at that, and I'm going, holy moly, I used to drink so much pop. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even realize. Like, at work,
Mhm.
when I worked at Walmart, I probably drank like 3 cans of pop a night, and one for lunch, one for breaks,
Yeah.
And to physically look at it and be sick, it's like, ooh,
Well,
I can't imagine,
I mean, one of the things that I constantly drink is this
Yeah.
H2O.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, it's the thing is your body is made up of what 72% of water,
Mm-hmm.
and it's uncanny how many people legitimately walk around dehydrated.
Oh, so much, so many.
So why would you not want to continually restore?
With the same thing that you're supposed
Yeah,
to be
I
putting
mean,
into your body.
when you are hydrated, your body does some amazing things
Mhm.
like function the way it's supposed to.
Like less fogginess. That's
Yeah.
another thing too with the gluten. I know if I accidentally get any gluten because I first off, yes, my throat gets really scratchy and I start feeling like it's going to close up. But before all of that stuff started happening, anytime that I had gluten, I would get really super sleepy.
Mhm.
There was times that I had to actually pull over off to the side of the road on the way home because I
Yep.
was like, "Oh, it's a good idea. I'm gonna eat a 6-inch sub from Subway." Yeah, not so cool. Like, not good idea.
That's
I
what I love about.
literally had to pull over off to the side of the
Yeah.
road because I was falling asleep driving. And I don't think a lot of people realize that with gluten.
Yeah.
I don't think they understand. I'm not saying that you have to completely stop eating it,
Right.
but if you've got an allergy and you don't realize it, like
Don't
it's
push it.
dangerous.
Don't push it.
It's dangerous.
See, that's the thing I love about Subway is the fact that you can go to Subway,
Mhm.
and everybody loves Subway bread.
Yeah,
Italian urban cheese, the whole 9 yards.
right.
Delicious. The flatbread, love the stuff.
Right.
Okay. Making a conscious choice
Mhm.
to get their chopped salads.
Oh, they're so good.
Oh my God, they are fucking
They're
amazing.
so good. Mine goes to waste, so I'm gonna have to like start sharing with people.
But see, that's just it. Every time I go to Subway, and anybody who loves me and knows me and wants to go through and spoil me rotten,
Mhm.
can get me like a Subway gift card for life.
Ah,
And I will happily order my chicken teriyaki and bacon.
yeah, just to say we're not sponsored by Subway.
I'm not sponsored
just
by
like
Subway,
it.
but I would love to be sponsored by Subway. This
Yeah,
part
chopped
of
salads are really, really good
the.
there.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Have you? One morning I went in there, like this is before I had surgery. I went in there and I was like, okay, I would like the scrambled egg white or the
Mhm.
egg white, and I would like ham and bacon, and then I put some veggies and some cheese and stuff in there.
Yeah.
And I was like, they're like, do you want lettuce? I'm like, no, this is a breakfast bowl. Like he's like, what? I was like, yeah, I just did that. Like I just made a breakfast
did
bowl.
that.
So he kind of looked at me like, well, what am I supposed to do? It's supposed to be a salad. I'm like, it doesn't have to be a salad.
A bitch of Paris.
It was really good though. I was like, oh, I got something new happening here, you know?
And that's what I do all the time. I everything in moderation.
Right.
Because like I'll drink soda, but it's not an everyday process. Like I'll go to Subway and intentionally fuck up my taste buds
Yeah.
because I'll put like root beer, and then I'll do like the agave with watermelon and kiwi.
Gross.
It's really good though.
I've heard this.
I will intentionally fuck up my taste buds and go, here, what does that taste like to you? And everybody has gotten it wrong. It was so much fun.
Interesting.
It's really good because that's the thing. I love food.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's some people that have a very unhealthy addiction to food.
Oh, very much so.
Okay. But here's the great part about it. You're not living until you are trying all of this great tasting food.
Mm-hmm.
Because a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit
Oh, yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Experiment. Life is all about adventures in food.
I think that it's very important, though, to also find different variations of stuff, too.
Absolutely.
To keep it, one of my big things is that with food, the easier, the better. The on the go, the better. And sometimes, I'll be honest, even now, I still don't prep properly. I mean, I do a lot better than I used to.
Right.
But I was watching like different videos on like the bento boxes for healthy eating. They would do like different colored ones,
Absolutely.
some beet chips or whatever. They would change it up for different colors, like strawberries and tomatoes and different things. And then they did like skewers with like the veggies and cheese and meat and stuff, and that's all stuff that I can have. And I was like, oh, that would be interesting, and I could make up a bunch and just be ready, prepared to go. So I'm looking at different alternatives of things that I can eat that would be similar to the old stuff that I used to eat. And it's not necessarily that I have major cravings. Sometimes I do for like the salty and the crunchy.
Yeah.
But I seen that you can take zucchini, cut it up, and make those into chips, and then I have Himalayan salt.
I will be making zucchini bread.
Oh, good deal. That stuff is good. But I mean, it's okay to still eat some of your favorite stuff.
Yeah.
But definitely they aren't wrong when they say in moderation. And that was a really hard lesson to learn. I mean, obviously the surgery is a tool for me. It does not mean that it's always going to be, easy for me. But learning the different stuff and the different techniques from it, and it's just like I looked at the old picture. I will show you guys.
Yeah,
One of my
saw that.
old pictures. It's kind of.
I was like, "Who the hell is that?"
Yeah,
and
he
you're
literally
like, "That's
asked
me," and I'm like, "That's not you."
Okay, so like in 2014, this is the Christmas of 2014, and I gotta find it again. I remember which one it was under. Here, you guys. This is an old picture that I had found, and it's a bit dark, so I don't know. I have to turn down my. Yeah, you kind of got a picture of. So I'm kind of in the way here because I've got the chat opened, but that was me.
Where was that taken at?
I was actually at my aunt's house. So these pajamas is just kind of a funny story. I'm gonna move this up here. You can see like they're long pants, but those are actually capris because I'm so short. But anyway, so that's an old picture of me, and it's not a surprise. I talk about it. I've said, I'm 5'1", and at my heaviest, I was at 350 pounds. And in that picture, you can tell, you can see, but and still, this is the hard part of it. Is yes, I did have the surgery. There was a lot of stuff you have to go through to have the surgery, but I would never change it. I was lucky. I didn't have to have I didn't have many side effects or issues from it.
Mm-hmm.
I did have to stay over because I had a blood transfusion. There was some other stuff that happened, so I was there 2 extra days. But honestly, it was the best decision I ever made. I don't ever want to go back to that girl that was in that picture because I am a much healthier person now.
Absolutely.
And the confidence and everything else, I feel so much better. But to learn all these different things, like I have that picture on my phone as a reminder because I don't want to go back. So, like I said, it is a tool. The surgery is a tool.
Yeah.
You have to be able to use it and put it away when you're, make sure that you're taking care of it because it's a blessing, to be honest. I'm grateful and thankful that I was able to. So looking at that picture, like I went from a 5X
wow,
down
really?
to a medium.
Holy shit.
Depending on the clothes. Like certain things are not that size, but mostly 10, 12 and medium, large, medium. So, I mean, that in itself is a huge victory.
Oh, yeah.
But still sometimes in my head, like, I still feel like I'm that girl.
Right.
Like, I'll sit down in a chair and I'll be like, oh, my God, I hope this doesn't break. Like, just, I know we've talked about that, but seriously, it's the truth.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah.
Today we went to Secretary of State, and I remember sitting in those chairs going, oh, this is so uncomfortable. Because I'm spilling out over the sides.
Right.
I look at it today and I'm sitting there and there's like so much room on the sides of me and I'm just like, man, I can't even imagine going back and being that person anymore.
Yeah.
So, we've talked about all the different things of progression.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've stopped smoking, you are eating good.
Yeah.
I've gone through this. I am at that point. So I've started to think about different things such as like doing a 5K again, like training for it. So I'm putting discipline back into the exercise and stuff, which I love exercising. I would never have told you that last year or the year before. I would have never told you that.
Me either.
Me and the couch. Yeah, I know. Like, you are doing it too. So, like, me and the couch, I would have told you had, like, something going on. Because that was where I was at.
Yeah.
Chilling out.
My couch got a lot of ass.
Yeah. So.
Not the fun kind either.
No.
Like the sweaty, middle-aged, balding guy ass.
Yeah, not good stuff. So, I mean, I'm thinking about that and, self-defense classes, just whatever.
Well, and that's why I posed the question, not to just myself, but, to everybody out there and you.
Yeah.
Of what is the next logical step. I'm setting myself up and I'm doing all these great successes. I mean, I'm even working through the third part of my master certification for life coaching.
Congrats.
But, what is the next step? I mean, how many other people have had these stories of doing the stuff that we have done,
right?
Or stuff that we haven't done, but are in a similar vein,
right?
What's the next thing? Because I
really
always
feel
reading.
like I feel like you have to have something. We're always trying to progress,
Be better.
I think they said that with progression, like it's just human nature.
Yeah,
that you want to progress. Like you never feel like you. But there was something else that went along with that, though, to make it so it doesn't seem like not healthy.
Right.
Like always overdoing it and always doing these things or always doing too much. It's like, okay. So there's got to be a time when you make sure that you not only because you're working towards something, but you also are taking care of yourself. And I know that in this, everybody always has the New Year's resolutions. Well, I don't
hate that.
I think you should ditch the resolutions and just start like today, tomorrow, whatever. Don't wait till Monday. Like that was my huge thing. I'll be honest. Before getting into trying to fix my health and doing the weight loss surgery and everything else, or actually starting the weight loss journey beforehand, because I had to lose a certain amount. So I was notorious for going, I'll start Monday. And then Monday would come and I'll start. Well, I meant like next Monday.
And you'd shit the bed on Monday.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, literally, I think we really need to stop talking and just start doing more than anything, because I think when you start talking about it, you can talk yourself out of it.
It becomes one excuse after another.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that's where I've never liked that New Year's resolution.
No.
Because it lasts for what? 3-4 days, maybe a week
I
if you're lucky.
think they said the most that it lasts is up to like 15 days. People are gung-ho generally up to like 15 days, and then after that is when people just kind of lose their gumption for it or make the old excuses.
Right. I mean,
You know.
if you want a New Year's resolution, fine. When you wake up tomorrow morning, do something new.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Every 7 days is a new adventure.
Yeah.
And if you can start the process to becoming a new you, why not do it? It's not easy. If it was, everybody would do it. But I'm saying push yourself to meet and exceed that challenge.
Yeah, because you really honestly have to be able to push yourself to be successful. You know, because the minute that we start making excuses is the minute that goes right out the door. Well, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I look at so many people in the past that, we have been friends with and whatnot. It's like, you guys do such a cool thing. You guys have a great career and you have awesome jobs. And you get to do all these events and stuff like that. It's like, what do you want to do?
Yeah, really. I think we spend a lot of time romanticizing about what other people do.
Right.
That we kind of put ourselves to the wayside and we just don't think about it. Like I've discussed this several times, not just on here,
right,
but on Survivor Girl, where, I spent my younger years, I got married, and I spent my life, 11 years of my life, on third shift at Walmart.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that don't have a job. If that's something that you want, okay. If you're happy doing it, good for you. But I spent my life going, honestly, I said, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm doing. This is what my life is.
Right.
Of course it is. When you start talking like that, of course that's going to be your life.
Here's the delusion that I think people fall into.
Yeah.
Of the fact that, well, I have to go to work. I have to pay bills.
Right.
I have to have a ginormous house. I have to have a white picket fence. I have to.
Yeah.
Do you really? Okay. Maybe kids aren't in the cards for you.
Right.
Maybe not having a wife or a husband is
right.
not in the cards for you. Maybe, I don't know, living in a teepee in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And you're sending up smoke signals.
Maybe that's what you want.
Right. Maybe that is your thing. I hate the status quo of I got to work to pay bills.
Right.
No.
Right.
No. You get to pay bills.
Right.
Because you have the career or the job to do those things, to afford things that you think you need.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But in the same token, do you really need them?
Not necessarily. I think that's another thing. I think we spend too much time trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Well, and I noticed this because we've been here in this place for, 5 years now?
Yeah.
And of course, you move into a new place, you get all excited about the cool stuff that you want to get.
Of course.
I don't watch TV. I watch Netflix.
Yeah.
If I want to watch a movie or whatever, I've got how many other movie streaming services?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm paying $140 a month for 15 bajillion channels, and there's nothing on.
Nothing. I hate cable.
Right. But yet, now I just switched over, and I have cable, internet,
right,
and a landline phone.
mm-hmm.
that is just kicking ass and leaving a footprint.
Yeah.
I'm rocking 400 megs per second,
Right.
which we should be coming in crystal
Oh,
clear.
I
with
hope
no
so.
latency. But no, that was the thing. So I started systematically getting rid of shit I don't need in my life.
And it feels good.
Oh God, it so declutters everything.
You don't realize how much even 1,000 bajillion emails can mess with you, mess with your life, and make it chaos.
Yeah.
Pictures, over so many different pictures that we save on the phone or whatever, that can get overwhelming, chaotic. Just you wouldn't believe. So I when I joined Truth 6 Degrees Truth Serum. Sorry, I get a little bit ahead of myself.
Shout out to
here.
Candy.
Shout out to Candy. We were talking about, somebody else had mentioned it about decluttering and all this different stuff.
Yeah.
Mitch has mentioned, becoming a minimalist and all these things, and I got a recycling bin from Becky. I mean, there was just different things. I was like, I just kind of want to just try different stuff.
Yeah.
Because I've lived my life in a huge chaotic tornado for so long.
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying that's perfect. It's still have my days. But when I started making that decision, I was listening to actually a girl that I went to school with named Rose Lounsbury. She is a minimalist, and she has twins or triplets, I think.
Yeah.
And a husband, and everybody's like, well, how could you be a minimalist with So
you have
she's
to have
pretty
3
cool.
of everything.
Yeah, she did a TED Talk on it, but there's different things.
What?
A TED Talk? Yeah.
No shit.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
I think it's called How Many Towels Does One Person Need? I think the name of the talk, which is really cool. So, and she's got a book out.
That's funny you say that.
She's got a book out, and I watched some of her videos and different things, and one of the things that she recommends on there is taking a table and then starting in a pantry, which I did. I started in my pantry. My pantry was just a chaotic mess. So I set this table up, and she says, pull everything out so you know exactly what you have.
Right.
Because I know in your cupboard, how many of the same spices do you have? I mean, yes, you can stack up on them.
Yeah.
But how many times have you gone to the store and was like, oh yeah, I need that, and then you're like, oh shoot, I've got 3 of those.
Actually, that's not the issue now. It's the tea, because
Okay.
it's the seasons change, and I'm like, man, I gotta get that stuff because we got some of the stuff today. But no, I completely understand where that's going. And
Yeah.
it's so funny. Continue on with explaining that, because that's brilliant.
Yeah, so she was talking about that, and it was cool to watch her, because I went to school with her. We weren't super close, but we talked. We were acquaintances.
Yeah.
We were in theater class together and everything. Her husband,
Theater.
I kind of in school was he really liked her, and I was like, hey, he likes you, and now they're married. Whatever. I'm not going to take credit for it or anything, but so anyway, it was very cool to see that she did TED Talks, because that's one of my goals is I want to do a TED Talk. Yeah, I learn how to talk better, but so I'm looking at this and I'm listening, and she's talking about this, pulling the stuff out of the pantry.
Yeah.
So I do that, and my pantry is so organized now and so much room, and I have stuff that's actually in the back of the car to go to Goodwill tomorrow or wherever I choose to drop off stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't need this. What am I doing with all of this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
So we had the discussion about, when, my mom had passed away.
Yeah.
I inherited a lot of her stuff, because at the time it was quick. We had to move stuff out. So instead of sorting, I was just like, well, I'll take it.
Yeah.
And I did not deal with it for years, because I just couldn't.
Yep.
So now I am. And there's so much stuff. And since I started decluttering, I ended up taking, now I think the total is 15 bags.
Wow.
And that's not junk. It's not garbage. It's donation stuff.
Yeah.
15 bags of donation, clothes, everything. And probably about 7 or 8 boxes of stuff.
Yeah.
And donating all of that. And I'm still not done.
Yeah.
But what a huge weight lifted off my shoulders, honestly.
Absolutely. And that's what is so much fun, because I was actually going through, and Candy, Tiffany, and Becky was giving me instructions on what to get rid of the fridge as we were making a grocery list yesterday.
Oh yeah.
So I pretty much cleaned out the fridge from top to
It's
bottom.
overwhelming sometimes.
There was shit in there from like 2014.
Yeah. Oh,
And
I
I'm like,
believe it.
what
Yeah.
the fuck? So, of
Yeah.
course, I threw that shit away. And then went into the spice and herb counter rack thing, which I need
Mhm.
a new one of those. So I'm combining stuff because I've got half a bottle of like Saigon cinnamon
Mhm.
with another half a bottle of Saigon cinnamon. So
Yeah.
I filled that up.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, so I got this spice, I need this spice. And it's amazing how, like you said, when you declutter
Mhm.
and when you get rid of shit that you don't need,
Yeah.
how much more you're like, okay, well, what can I put there? And counter space.
Right.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
counter space.
Yeah.
Holy shit, there is so much counter space.
Yeah. Oh, it's just it's incredible.
Yeah.
I kind of, it's not the towel thing for me because we don't really have a ton of towels. But for me it's like how many mugs does one person need? I am a collector of mugs. Like I have to be
All the
honest.
mugs.
I do. Like I'm bad at it. And I'm sitting there going through everything, and I'm trying to downsize, and then I end up going to this garage sale. I'm like, well, it was just a spur of the moment. I love garage sales. And I see this mug. It's this black mug that says, "Though she is little, she is fierce." And I was like, "Sorry, I have to have this one."
Right.
So I'm just like going home and going, "Okay, what two mugs?" Because it's a bigger mug. I'm like, "What two mugs are leaving the house now?" Because this one is going in your place. But you kind of, if it was so less overwhelming,
Yeah,
putting all the stuff out on the table.
absolutely.
Honestly, because then I'm looking at the table and I'm going, okay, so I'm going to start setting this stuff off right here because this is stuff I'm not keeping.
Right.
And it was so easy. Like, you know me, I get overwhelmed pretty easy, unfortunately. It's getting better.
Right.
But for me, that task would have been just horrible.
Oh, absolutely.
So doing it that way, though, and looking at it all put out on the table, it was so relieving, actually.
Yeah.
So I was very thankful to have, if you guys get a chance to check out her TED Talk, and then she's also got a book. She's on Facebook and everything. Her name's Rose Lounsbury. And if you guys can take a look at that, it was just really very good information. And she talks about in her video or whatever that she has a box that she sets out for donation. So the kids are even on board with putting stuff in the donation box. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So it's a huge weight lifted off your shoulders when you start decluttering. It's crazy, like just the chaos of everything.
Well, and I think that's one of the things that most people, when they see how much shit they really don't need.
Right.
I mean, I love that quote from what is it? Fight Club. The things you end up owning you. And it's so true.
Yeah.
I mean, how many freaking cooking spoons and ladles does one person need?
Oh my gosh. You don't realize it because
Right.
sometimes you just grab things or people give you things. That's another thing that she talks about.
Yeah.
With Christmas coming up, you guys, you're going to get gifts.
Mm-hmm.
It's inevitable, and I'm not saying that thank you guys for whoever does give gifts or whatever.
Right.
But if you're going to give gifts, try to be practical about it because there's so many times that people get stuff that they don't really wouldn't use.
Right.
And then they feel bad because they feel like they have to hold on to it. And that was another thing that she discussed. She said, just because it came from Grandma Mimi or whatever,
Right.
if you don't like it, you don't like it. If you don't have a spot for it, you don't have a spot for it.
See, and that's the thing is that's where the humanitarian part of me, when I get a gift that I really have no use for, obviously I thank the person because they thought of me, they got me a gift. But if someone else comes along and goes, hey, I could really use that.
Yeah.
It's
Perfect.
yours.
Yeah.
Because it's going to go to a good home and somebody's going to get use out of it. Me? Why the fuck would I use green tube socks? They serve me zero purpose.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm thankful and grateful for the presents and whatever that people do give, and I don't want anybody to feel like I'm not, because I really am. But that was just one of the things with trying to make your space less chaotic and to kind
Right.
of downsize.
Right.
We do that stuff. Like we hold on to things from like the 5th grade or whatever, or like I said, because it came from grandma, or
Right.
it happens. We do that kind of thing because we feel bad a lot of times.
See, and I don't because I've never really connected to stuff.
Right.
I mean, the memories that I had were with people, having this exchange with people,
Yeah.
having conversations. I mean, yes, I have a picture of my grandfather and my grandmother over there on the
Right.
wall. And then there's a couple of other pictures floating around. I think I have my grandmother's Bible. But
Yeah.
aside from that, I don't really give a shit.
Right. Right.
I mean, I've always, I guess you could say I've been a minimalist because I have a jump bag and then I
Mhm.
have my travel suitcase.
Other than when it comes to books.
Well, yeah, because books are one of those things that you can never have too many books, just not enough bookshelves.
See, that's the thing too. Like with myself, like I have definitely have a new love for reading because for
Yeah.
a long time, and I think it was just because I was exhausted from being overweight and everything. But anytime I tried to read, I would fall asleep. But
Candy and
now
I
I
were
can.
talking about that last
Yeah.
night.
But I have like a whole new like found love for reading and stuff. But on that note too, like I collected a lot of books and whatnot, and kind of am
Hmm.
at that point where I'm just like, I don't really need all of these, and I've
Yeah.
made it a point to where I'm like, okay, I did buy a couple like devotional books or whatever
Hmm.
today, but I have to really stop buying books because I need to get through the ones I've got. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of us are guilty of that,
Oh, I'm
you
so
know.
guilty of that.
And once I get through that, like I'm actually going to start downsizing because after that, I have a library card for a reason.
Well, and that's what's
I'm
funny
going to
is
utilize it.
obviously you have the best spot. Go back to her name real quick. You have the best spot because this is my visible library.
Right.
I have so many books that you can literally look and see some of my interests that I have. However, in Narnia, there you go.
Yeah, you're like, I can go back.
In Narnia, I have Jesus 12.
Jesus and Narnia.
Yeah, I have Jesus in Narnia.
Dang.
No, I probably have about 12 rows
Yeah.
of books that are about yay thick. From
Wow.
floor to, I don't know what, 5 foot, maybe 5.5 foot.
Jeez, oh Pete's.
From
Well, for a long time before we had cameras in here,
Yeah,
I had made
the book tree.
I had made a book tree in that corner, and it was pretty epic.
Well, and I think that's one of the things that I'm going to be tackling through the course of the winter
Yeah.
is downsizing some of those books that I've read and I've yet read for years to either donate them one to the library
Mhm.
or give them to Goodwill because I want to do something with all of that in there.
Should build a library out in front of your yard, like one of the little ones. Yeah.
Well, I've actually thought about doing something like that with some of the older books because I've been watching a lot of these epoxy videos on YouTube, and they do some
Yeah.
really cool stuff with epoxy.
With books and
Well,
interesting.
just with whatever. I mean, I've seen them do stuff with feathers and insects and all kinds of really cool stuff, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I can do that. I just don't know how to do it.
Yep. Another project.
Well, and that's the thing is, don't be afraid to do something. You get an idea, go do it.
Yeah, and also that was another thing too that they were talking about was a collection of projects.
Yeah.
We do that too. Like I'm guilty of it. So I started putting different projects and stuff that I'm gonna make into totes. So
Yep.
and I don't have very many like totes. I do have like an office setup or whatever. So I've got those kind of separated so I can go, okay, this is an order of what one I want to do next.
Yeah.
To make, so because I sell and I make stuff and do craft fairs. Speaking of which, Ellington, Saturday, the Ellington Craft Fair just outside of Caro, I will be at from 8 to 3. So Becky and me will be hanging out there. Ducky's Doodads, Survivor Girl, and Dragonfly Boutique. I will be doing ornaments also, personalizing, just plain bulbs, nothing fancy. So if you guys get a chance to stop and see what we're doing, that'd be cool. And also, while I am talking about it, I might as well talk about the hat that I got on too.
You do that.
because this is a Survivor Girl exclusive. There's actually going to be a Survivor Girl like label here. With the Survivor Girl hats, they are $20. 10 of it goes back to getting materials and for Becky's time, and the other 10 of it goes to Survivor Girl. So I think that's pretty awesome, and you guys can actually get order any color. So that's another bonus. Plus, they're very well made. So if you're not doing anything Saturday, come and stop into the Ellington Church and come see us. Okay.
I'm looking for the next promo for Mitch's show.
Oh, okay. Oh, speaking of that, too, Black Friday, Mitch has a comedy show coming up, and it's going to be at Brentwood like it always is. It is the Mitch Gill's Get a Room Comedy Club. So Friday, November 29th, go and do your Black Friday shopping, and then come up to Brentwood, save some money for a ticket. It's $15. Doors open up at 6.
It's going to be an epic show.
It is going to be. Laugh
did
your
find it,
way
by the way.
through the cold months, he says. Oh, okay. So you found a promo. I'm
No,
going to finish talking
go
about
ahead,
this.
Go ahead.
Showtime is at 8 o'clock. It says, stop shopping and bring friends for laughs. With talent from Detroit, Ann Arbor, and Cairo, we'll make Black Friday hilarious. Bill Reno, Shane Dials, Steve Hansen, and special guest Ella Hordwell, I think. And featuring the Lighten Up comedy show with Billy Reno. Yeah.
Their podcast is really funny.
Oh, okay. So that's a podcast
Yeah,
that
it's
they
a
can
podcast.
check out, and that's
It's
all
really
three of those
funny.
guys are on the
Yep.
podcast.
Yep.
Awesome. So we like podcasts.
Absolutely.
So go check that out, guys. It's the Lighten Up podcast, I guess. And for future show dates, he also has another one coming up in December on the 31st, which is the New Year's Eve one. Valentine's Day. Also, then let me see, where are we? 321 and 425. He's got more shows coming up. So there's a
Wow.
lineup already. It is sponsored by Woody's Motel here in Cairo. So yeah, guys.
Woody's is a great place to stay.
Yeah. Also check out Mitch's Fake Radio podcast.
Speaking of that, I think we got some.
Ooh. Got a little something for us?
Got a little something,
A
something.
little something, something. Okay, guys. So what do you got?
All right, so this is Mitch's promo for the up and coming show.
Okay. All right. Let's take a listen.
Hey, this is John Doe from the John Doe I Don't Know radio show. The show where you hear songs from, can't remember. But anyhow, I'm supposed to read a commercial for Mitch Gill's Get a Room Comedy Club happening November 29th. Yeah, that's Black Friday at Brentwood in Cairo. Mitch has booked a Lighten Up comedy show, which is Billy Reno, Shane Dials, and Steve Hansen. 3 funny dudes. And special guest, Ella Horwedel? What the hell kind of name is Horwedel? Anyhow, tickets are $15. You can get them at the Brentwood. Call 989-673-2330. Or you can call Mitch, 810-441-4710. He'll meet you in a dark alley to sell you tickets. Is that right? That's kind of creepy sounding. Anyhow, it's sponsored by Woody's Motel, woodies.com to book a room. Check out Woody's in Cairo. Yeah, it's Mitch Gill's Get a Room Comedy Club at the Brentwood in Cairo on November 29th, Black Friday. Showtime is 8 p.m. Be there.
Nice. See, you could
John
just cut me
Doe.
off. just let that one go. He said the names right.
Oh God, that's so funny.
That's awesome.
That's what's great about doing a lot of the production with Mitch is he's always doing these great voices and characters. It's so funny because he told Candy when he was doing pre-production last night. He's like, "Did it kind of ruin the mystery?" She's like, "No, it just kind of reinforced the fact that you're insane."
So true.
It's so funny though. God, it's so fucking funny. Can I play one more
Yeah,
for
go
old
ahead.
time's sake?
Yeah, for sure.
Give me 2 seconds. Talk amongst yourselves. All right, here we go.
A message from the Gluten Free Advisory Board. Are you sluggish at work? Often feel somewhat clueless? I gotta send a fix to our Omaha branch. Do I do it face up or face down?
Face up, Marvin. Face up.
Okay.
Lift your head, Marvin. Look up here. Look up here.
What?
Good job, Marvin. I'll push send.
Are you tired and feel like there's just not much going on upstairs? So you put the coffee in here first, then the filter?
Marvin, no, forget it. That's going to be your pot of coffee.
This tastes gritty.
It's your fault, Marvin.
I want to mail my George Michael fan letter. Does it go in the outbox or in the inbox? The inbox, right?
Eating wheat is making you stupid, Marvin.
I'm stupid.
Dumb as a bag of rocks. Bag of rocks, Marvin.
When humans eat wheat, it causes brain fog, drowsiness, and weight gain, and quite frankly, makes you dumb as a bag of rocks. I like rocks. If you lick them, you can see the colors. Where's the bag? To learn more about the harmful effects of gluten that comes from eating wheat, read the book Wheat Belly by cardiologist Dr. William Davis and listen to Mitch's Fake Radio, a message from the Gluten-Free Advisory Board and this program.
Thank you, announcer guy.
You're welcome.
Nice. That's good stuff. Oh man, I'm over here like mouthing it.
Yeah,
You're gonna
I've
have to-
legitimately got to get. What the hell's going on here?
No cameras.
No cameras.
Oh well. Anyway,